So due to technical difficulties with Dr. Ruben's connection, we'll shift our focus now to Burkina Faso, where the government has taken a dramatic step in reforming criminal justice. Its Council of Ministers has reportedly adopted a draft bill that would restore the death penalty abolished in 2018 for criminal offenses such as treason, terrorism and espionage. The country's justice minister says the measure is part of wider reforms for a better justice system that responds to the deep aspirations of the people of Burkina Faso. The draft bill will have to be approved by Parliament and reviewed by the courts before it becomes law. Amnesty International warns that the introduction of death penalty will amount to a serious rollback of human rights protection, also arguing that capital punishment is a cruel and irreversible penalty with no proven advantage in curbing crimes. For more on this development, global affairs analyst Ejike Okpa joins me now from Dallas, Texas in the United States.
Good afternoon over there.
Good afternoon to you too. Burkina Faso's government has reinstated the death penalty, reversing its 2018 abolition and introducing a new penal code that provides for capital punishment in cases of terrorism, high treason and espionage. What role do you think the reinstatement will play in reducing crime in Burkina Faso?
You know, in your introduction, you have said something that capital punishment hasn't been proven to deter crime, and that is true. Maybe this is just to let some people who are planning something or who have planned something that are being considered for punishment, that this is what's going to happen to them. Countries and states, like in the United States, we have states that said no capital punishment, and then we have some other states like in Texas, we still have that. So it's up to the country, it's up to the judicial system. With capital punishment, you're going to get reaction from domestic and international organizations saying, such a thing shouldn't be happening at this time. But again, every country has the right to determine how they want to deal with certain crime. And that's what Burkina Faso is doing. So we'll just sit by and see if they get the approval, and then see whether this helps them in curbing the crime that they have alleged that if you commit that crime, you're going to get punished, through a capital punishment.
Absolutely. So the West African country's justice minister says the reform is aimed at creating a penal system that reflects the deep aspirations of the Burkinabe people at a time when the country continues to face severe security challenges linked to jihadist insurgencies. How do you react to this view?
Again, if somebody or people are going to come into your country, whether they are your citizens or people from outside and do certain things, I think every country is entitled to use whatever punishment they think that will help discourage people. Punishment is, by its own nature, is to discourage people from doing certain things. I think when that is spelled out, if you commit a crime along this line, this is what's going to happen to you. Some people may look at it and back off. Some people may still, by their nature, still going to go ahead and do it and say, kill me. This is what I have wanted to do. I want to inflict something on the government or the people. So as much as the reactions are going to be for or against, it is every country would do it, but in certain countries, in European countries, I think in all of European countries, they have outlawed that. But again, it is them. Maybe the behavior in those countries entitle people to stay away from certain crime. But in some other parts of the world, we still have people who commit certain crime that even everybody look at it and say, well, why did somebody do certain things? So I don't have a plus or a minus against Burkina Faso. Whatever it is they have to do in order to stabilize, their own country and give their people the confidence that this government is out looking for their own better outcome. It's up to them.
So, and the reinstatement places Burkina Faso at odds with regional and international trends, as most nations worldwide have abolished the death penalty. Is this decision too hard or too much of a hard stance?
Again, it's capital punishment, but why people are saying it's too hard or too soft. Also, how about the criminal? How about the criminal or criminals that commit those things? Is anybody saying, don't do it? So I think if you commit certain crime, I support capital punishment. I live in Texas, okay? I support it. If you do certain things, tit for tat, I believe in that. If you come and kill a family member of mine, I don't think there's anything that will make me don't want to see you get killed for that. So before you commit a crime, think of the consequences. And if the consequences don't discourage you from doing it and you do it, then you set yourself up for the punishment. So whomever is telling Burkina Faso do it or don't do it, or mostly some international organizations that are going to scream that's what they do all the time. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that they should maybe either go to Burkina Faso and support them with public awareness about the consequences of doing certain things. Maybe after that, people might just, get discouraged and don't do it. But if after that they still go ahead and do it, then Burkina Faso people have decided this is what we're going to do to you when you do certain things. I think they are entitled. Every country is entitled to the form of punishment, on certain criminals if they do certain things. I am a strong proponent for that. Respect the laws of every country. Do not lump them into a particular group. We may all live, or we still live in global village, but we still have independent countries. Again, I give an example. That's why in Texas, if you commit certain crime, you better believe it. It is sending you to the death row, and after you have exhausted all your rights, you're going to get killed.
Global Affairs Analyst Ejike Okpa, all the way from Texas. Thank you again for your time. And
well, thank you for having me.
Our first guest is back. That's Dr. Ruben, with whom we were